Good morning.
Man, being a long-time fan of the Tekken series, I would be lying if I didn't say I'm excited for Tekken 8. But with the way the storyline is being hyped up as some sort of good versus evil, for me personally, it looks like the story is going to be heading down a weird road. And let's be honest, the Tekken storyline doesn't have that much depth, but maybe that's fine. Maybe I outgrew the franchise. Or it could be that the creators of Tekken have shifted the target audience, which is evident with Tekken 7 having some questionable gameplay and character additions. It doesn't help that Tekken 7 had a bare-bones storyline which was quick and went nowhere, almost making the game feel like some sort of unfinished scam. But that seems to be normal in modern games right now. And having played the new demo and getting washed by an ultra-hard Nina, I have to say that I've been pleasantly surprised with how engaging the gameplay feels. It is a shame to see that the Rage Arts and L1 combo assist is still around, but having ignored that, I can see the many improvements, like how creating combos are more fluid compared to the older Tekkens, with characters like Nina and Paul feeling much more faster than ever. Although it is a demo, it is safe to assume that the locked and unlocked modes will be the only things you'll be getting on the day one's full release. I am happy to say that Tekken 8 is bringing back Tekken Ball, and the last time I was playing Tekken Ball was when I was a kid. Tekken Ball was always a fun game mode, so I'm excited to see it return, but I won't be able to play until the full game's release, as it's locked in the demo. The idea of having two fighting characters hit a ball back and forth may sound like a dumb idea, but I can promise you, having to time your hits and having a mini rally between you and your friends will have you going back to the game mode over and over. Aside from your typical settings and replays, I never thought I'd be happy to see a jukebox setting. That character select screen music is horrible. Feels like some sort of European sports competition intro. It's flat out wrong for a fighting game. I'm just trying to get hyped for a battle, but I'm getting PTSD knowing that OST is around the corner. I'm too afraid to go into the character select screen. I wish there was a way of getting out of juggling combos. Once you're in the air, you can't do anything to get out of it. You're like a lifeless body being tossed around. All you do end up doing is watching a dance recital. I know many people will say it's easy, just avoid the initial attack that starts the juggling, but there's something ass about playing against someone who just keeps seeking to do it. My idea to improve the situation is not to remove juggling altogether, as I'm sure many people wouldn't be happy about that, but instead have every character do its own unique juggling breaker. The way you activate it is by putting in a certain controller input at the same time an attack hits, to counter it, and the way it would look, for example, would be if Kuma were to do an aerial back roll to escape, or you could even have a counter attack, for example, because you just flies out of it and just beams you. I don't know, anything's just better than being left in a lifeless state. I don't know about you guys, but the idea of buying a new Tekken tag game seems unappealing to me, especially when all it is just the capability of tagging up. Now don't get me wrong, that's what makes it so good, but to have it as an entirely separate game seems unnecessary to me. I get why the older games were made, the first one being on the PS2 most likely needed an entirely new disc to hold its content, and the second one on the PS3 could have done what I'm saying to do now, but I understand it was 4 years after Tekken 6, so most likely needed updating. But in the current day, it's been more than 13 years since the last Tekken tag. One way it could come back is by implementing it as a DLC for Tekken 8, having it come with its own game mode, and even adding its own non-canon roster if need be. Doing this will undoubtedly make Tekken 8 a future classic. One cool thing about Tekken Tag is being able to play 4-player, with each controller being in charge of a single character. Because of this, you could imagine the stress of losing a fight for your team, and hoping you don't get shat on. Having the option to play 4-player with family or friends on the couch is really one of the greatest joys missing from modern gaming. This wouldn't be the first time it'd be implemented in Tekken, as the original PS2 game would allow you to do this. Also adding an online 4-player tag lobby would add more to the playing experience. Imagine how chaotic a Discord call would get with 4 players fighting for their lives in each match. That shit sounds beautiful. Tekken has had its spin-off games from Death by Degrees all the way to Tekken Card Challenges. What the hell's a Pokken tournament? But one of the great things about Tekken has always been its extra content. These contents always made the games have more soul. Game modes like Devil Within on Tekken 5, Force Mode on Tekken 3 and Tekken 4, and even Scenario Campaign on Tekken 6 made the game so much fun. Being able to run and fight in third person is a good break from the standard 3D side to side view, but the extra contents didn't just stop there. Unlocking secret characters, Tekken 5 having Tekken 1, 2 and 3's demo winners, and even bowling really helped the game feel more larger. Unlike Tekken 7, well, at least it had Tekken Ball, except it wasn't free like the older games. Gotta love modern gaming. The idea of Tekken being racist is insane. It has one of the most culturally diverse rosters and never came off as being stereotypical. This is back in the days when it didn't need to be a requirement for all media forms to be diverse. So the idea of Tekken having some sort of agenda with race is nonsense. Maybe calling Leroy the Grandmaster of Drip and having him fist bump is a little odd.
Believe in yourself.
But that could be due to their exposure of what they think black culture is, so it's most likely nothing serious, and rather the gold chain and cane is just an innocent positive nod to the culture. Oh cool, a new Tekken reveal video.
Coração ardente, mas cabeça.
I take it all back, maybe Tekken is racist.
So nasty! So nasty! So nasty!